Hello, this is Taj McCameron, and welcome to the next session of podcasting development. Okay, so we've gone through brainstorming. You know what it is that you want to do. We've gone through planning. You've planned out your entire podcast. You know what it is, what you want to do, how many segments, what it is that you're getting ready to develop, so on and so forth. Now, what next? Development of the show. How can you do this? There are multiple different platforms that you can do. But what I found to be most easiest, some may have conflict with this, but for me, just getting started, I use Anchor. Anchor works for me, but you can get your podcast on iTunes, so on and so forth, Overcast, Breaker Audio, Google Podcast, Kitcaster. Is that Kitcaster? I know that they help people that are trying to expand their podcasts. There's another audio platform that you can use just to develop your podcast as a hosting platform, so on and so forth, as a way to develop and create a podcast that others will see, that others can be sent to, that you can drive traffic to, that you can pretty much have a host for. I use Anchor. So, here we go. Anchor. This is Anchor, the podcasting website. Come in here and you can develop your very own podcast. These are other people that used Anchor. Why you can use Anchor. Anchor and Spotify have actually merged as two companies, so they've developed two different ways in order for you to be able to consume their content. Anchor is a podcasting platform, while Spotify is a music source. How many times have you listened to a radio show and they had music playing in the interms between topics? Music played. I love this concept. As I develop my podcast, I've always been one to add music because it's just who I am. I like music. So when I'm in between topics or doing a breakdown on something, I'll add a song between, just like if you were listening to a podcast or listening to a radio show on a radio. It goes from segment to song, segment to song, segment to song. And with Anchor, you can do this. What you do is you develop what it is that you want. After we already went through the planning process, you would learn your linguistics of how to create your podcast. I'm going to show you a little bit of that here today, because this is just the easiest platform that I know to use in order to create a podcast. This is a video on podcasting or podcasting through Anchor. These are other podcasts that are on the Anchor platform. And best element, you do not have to pay a monthly subscription to sit up there and start your podcast. You see this word? Love this word. Free 99, free 99, free 99. It is free. And you have access to music and all of these things. You must be crazy if you don't use it, especially as a starting point. until you start to monetize and start to get money out of it. If you are looking to get money out of it, and you can transfer from this type of platform to a platform that is a paid service that may give you more bells and whistles, but this is where you want to start at, because it's gonna help you. So I'm gonna sign in. I'm gonna show you my back office to show you some things that you can do with your podcast. I'm recording, but you're not going to see my password. Otherwise, I will cut it out. Now, this is my podcast that shows me how many platforms I'm on, where the show is available. Anchor, Breaker, Google. Have we made it to Apple yet? We're on Pocket, Radiocast, but I don't think we've made it to Apple just yet. We're working our way. We are working our way. Take you back to the dashboard. This is your back office. When you've created a show, you're going to create your graphic, you're going to create a title, you're going to create a summary of what the show's content really is, what it's about, so on and so forth. I'm in the process of editing a lot of this. This shows you how many plays you've gotten, or you've gotten over a period of time, likes it, how many watches, what episodes were getting the most watches or listens. Overcast seems to be my most highest ranking hits on my show. Spotify got 18%. I pretty much stay there. Anchor gets 9%. Others get 9%. My average fan base is between 28 and 34. Good to know. And I'm split down the middle on listeners, so I have a good gender balance for the people that listen to the show. Green Room and Spotify are great because if you're a person that ever used Clubhouse, Green Room is your alternative if you are a creator. Clubhouse is more for your business side, but if you're a creator and creative artist, that's your place to be if you want to hang out and talk. I'm putting my podcast through Green Room because I'm already so well linked between Anchor and Spotify. But you can create anything. We will discuss creation of art and pieces for your graphics in the coming episode, but our session. This is what you're really looking at. Now, let's say you wanted to create a new episode. You're going to end up in the back office. This is your playground. You can either record brand new content, where you can record your episode, whatever the topic is. When I tell you 9 times out of 10, I'm flying off the handle, meaning I do most of my topics off the top of the dome. I don't ever plan out my topics. I sit down and I just start talking. Whatever's on my mind for that day, I understand what it is I'm pretty much trying to discuss, and because I know where I'm trying to discuss, I pretty much stick within that realm or range, and then I pull topic ideas from those places so that whoever is listening can really get a good gauge of where it is that I'm coming from. Library. This is my episodes. These are the episodes I recently recorded. I've been using the Anchor app on my phone to record lately, but after I developed or was introduced to Green Room, I now know that I can record the episodes on Green Room and then send them to myself and post them on Anchor. Catch 22, depending on where it is. I might be better to do so on the computer than it is to do on um, the phone, because I did one episode, it completely took. The second one, it did not take. I lost the link. I could not find the episode. So it's a little glitchy. So what I would say is, if you're going to record an episode, record it from your computer on Green Room and have the backup of Anchor recording a second. If it takes, good. If it don't, because the good thing about using the Green Room is the sound quality. It blocks out noise. I was standing on the street recording the first episode in a spot, and the noise was not so overpowering and overbearing, and I'm standing right next to traffic, loud noises, this, that, and the other. When I tell you, it was ridiculous, and the sound was not heavily picked up. My voice overpowered the sounds that were in my background, which gave a good ambiance to it being Steam to Live the Dream in that New York vibe. So you could actually just hear me. That is this episode. I might play a little bit because I'm going to also test. I have never tried playing something on the computer while at the same time recording content. So let's see if we can play some of it. And you can add this music to the background. This tells you that you can add it right here. And see, the quality is pretty good. And this was recorded on Green Room. See, you can hear the background, but it's not overpowering me talking. So that alone is a great reason to use Green Room. Now, this is the clean version before I added the music. See, that was before. Now, just for the essence sake, I'm going to show you how you can add music to it. You can add by hitting this. You see this note? Hit add. It's going to give you a list. You can go through the list and you can play any of these. And that will be added to the background of your video or audio. I'm like a smooth jazzy person, so I can use this. You could pick any of these. I'm going to do a mini segment concluding at the conclusion of this episode where I think I'm going to talk about music specifically. Just because I love music. It's a thing that sets the tone. And we'll come back here and talk about this a little bit more. I'm not going to go through all these, but I'll go through a few more when I do. Now, just for time's sake, I'm going to play around with this one. What you do is you take the clip and you just drop it. Let's say you have intros or extros. You can, I do have them. It's just a long list to get down to where they are. For instance, this is a promo that I created. And that was a promo. I have, as you can see, it's about 6 different promos that I created to talk to certain people. Some intros. Here's an intro I did. And as you can recognize, the background music. This was a segment that I created. Because I did Steam to Live the Dream, wanted to talk Steam, so I literally created, I had to actually go and get a sound effect for this. You get the point. And here's the intro topic that I created. I go through a full breakdown of each. And you can take that and you can put that in the top. I don't know why that didn't go. Hold on. Drag, drop. Now, you got those two sections. Now what do? Transitions. These are transitionary sounds that can go in between each episode segment. But you can have as many segments as you want. I have an entire episode that maybe has 15 to 20 segments in it because I did such a severe breakdown, then added music, and so on and so forth. Because I have access to Spotify, I go into Spotify connection and I can search any song I want. Let's just do it because we can. We were talking about her podcast, so you can literally add the song to the episode. You can add it, and that would be a audio segment that can go in between, so that when people are on the Spotify side, they can watch it. So I'm going to take you to the dashboard. Oops. No, I don't want to save changes. Let's take you to the dashboard. Let's see. Can I go to... content? Go to... This is the Anchor version of where the episodes are and what they look like for my podcast. Because Spotify, if I add music, it goes to Spotify. If I don't add music, it goes to Anchor and Spotify. So you end up having to do it 2 times over because the music's not going to transfer to Anchor listeners, and if you have no music on Spotify, why really do that? So I kind of do it for both audiences. Even though I find that I get more on Overcast, I think. I don't remember what my audio listens were on. I don't remember what my audio listens were on my other podcast, but this is a great starting point. Next. This is what it looks like on Spotify. So if you do episodes, this is what it'll look like on the Spotify page. This is just a good basic view for what you can expect to see if you decide to develop a podcast on uh, any platform. This is what it's going to end up looking like. Now, you can make the determination, which we will probably go more in depth on later on, of how you can do a breakdown of what it is that you want to create, how you want the storyline of your episode to go. Because there are multiple ways you can do it. You can do your intro, straight batch, episode closing. You can do multiple segments. Some people do 3 to 4 segments. Then they add music and so on and so forth in between. But you can do and develop it how you truly desire. Let me see if I can go. I'm gonna go and show you. Let's see. I'm gonna go back to. Let's go to Tamar Braxton. And she did a good episode. I just want to play a little bit of it. Let's see what it is. That's a good intro. She goes and breaks down into multiple different segments for each of her podcast episodes, and she does interviews in a lot of her episodes. At some point, I'm going to go into the interview format. I feel like coming together with that with my own personal podcast is just getting things in order right now to re-debut and relaunch for the way that I desire for it to be. Since we're here, I might as well do the same for see, can I play this? I probably have to go to, yeah, I have to go to actually log into a my iTunes. I'm not on an Apple computer, so I can't log into my iTunes on the desktop. I don't know why, what have you. But it's a good starting place. If I want, I can show you on. Let's see. These are all episodes of her podcast. And look at how, remember as we were talking before about um, advertisement and promotion. This is her promotion for her podcast. These are all different ways that you can do podcasting. I hope that I was able to give you a good example, a good feel for something that you could do, how you can start, and in which way you can start, give you something that you can really think about when you start the process of putting yourself out there to develop and create a podcast. This is Dr. Cameron. Until our next section, bye bye.